Hey you, happy Sunday. Welcome to your Senses Sunday video. My name is Nicole Severson and today we're gonna talk about body talk. Body talk, your body talks to you. All right, so your body talks, and all too often, most of us in Western culture are very disconnected from our body and tend to live in the mind and are up here kind of like a little dictator delegating and looking down at our body like this little wildling, disgusting, dirty, smelly, hairy, savagey thing below us that we just kind of move around to get what we want. And I'm here to talk to you today about this. And I have been doing a ton of body scans lately with people and helping them like check in to get into what their body feels like and noticing and tapping into their fuck yes and their hell no and what it feels like in their body so that they know that intuitive, quick yes or no where they actually feel it in their body, because your body cannot lie. And I am sharing this from my training that I have with Martha Beck, that and she states that your body doesn't lie. And when you, and the way that I'm discovering and learning this is that your body has a clean yes and no. And it's very clear. It'll give you feedback. It can be in an instant. Some people read this in as intuition that they feel. And it's a certain feeling in your body. And if I do want to say on a little side note, you've experienced trauma that has not been healed and processed, you actually will have a really hard time with this. You're going to feel dysregulated and disconnected from your yeses and nos and tend to stay up here and make all the decisions in your head because you're trying to stay safe, you're trying to survive, you're trying to do what's right and the next best thing and what you think you need to get to, from A to Z. And the magic and the mystery of human beings and our spirituality and our purpose and how we're guided by ourselves and our intuition and the universe, that the body's response is the fuck yes or the hell no, and it's quick. And it allows you, if your mind doesn't override it, it allows you to step into your truth and live from a place of inner guidance. And all too often, I know you've had this experience because I've definitely had it, where you're like, fuck. You're like, I shouldn't have done it and I knew it. And sometimes you can get really upset with yourself where you're like, I knew I shouldn't have done this. And I've had that time so many times because I am very intuitive and in touch with my system, and man, I want to kick myself when I don't listen. And so this is a practice, and to know that once you start doing this, that you're going to still have those moments where your brain it wants to be the master of controller, and it tends to override the inner knowing because it thinks it knows how to get what it wants. And all too often, in my experience with the mind and the ego, that what we think, like when we're trying to control the things to, whether it's from a trauma response of being in safety and survival around just everyday life, or trying to control all the pieces so that we feel like we have it all together. And the universe isn't interested in all of that stuff. And your purpose and your truth and what's guiding you through life doesn't care about the 9-to-5 job. It cares about you getting to your truth and bringing your gifts and your strengths out into the world. So sometimes that means quitting the 9-to-5 and going and being a backpack guide and YOLOing that up until you figure out and feel guided to your next steps. Like, there's a lot of different ways that this speaks to you. So what I want to hop on today and share with you is that your body talks. And these negative sensations that we get is basically you feeling the no in your body, like a clear no. And the positive experiences are you feeling your yes, and that like sensation of being guided and this yes, and it's intuitive and maybe it's a little scary, but you're gonna fucking do it anyway because you just know that you know that you know that it's what you're being called forward to do. And if you know that you are like, I don't know what I want, or and you get that like feeling, or maybe you feel so disconnected from your body that you're like, it doesn't even feel safe enough to be down in there, and like and to trust myself, like, what? And the last time I did that, I ended up with this jerk. And so if you do have some trauma that's unhealed, whether, you know, like, we can go on the trauma train and talk a lot about that, but I'm going to keep it shorter today around that. And getting into, if you know that you have had disconnection and dysregulation in your, like, connecting to your yes and your no, and to your body and to your intuition, and you know that it's from a past trauma that's unhealed or stuck, I want you to drop me a message below and to say, hey, I'm really interested in body scan and want to hear more. Send me a message on here so that I can reach out to you, and we'll get on a connection call, and I'll start to walk you through that and experience that and get to know, like, what's up for you. And if you are like mental Molly and like to stay up in your head, and you got your shit together and you know what's best, but you continue to make the same, like, relationships and cycles and mistakes and things, and you can't figure out why, this is also for you, of getting truly in touch with the sensations of the yes and the no, and what's in alignment with your truth. So if you feel disconnected from that, I want you to send me a message so that we can chitty chat about this. And I want to invite you to start to use this as a daily practice, so that you can start using this for little mundane things, like, what do I feel like having for dinner tonight? So this isn't like the mental, like, oh my God, I had a terrible day and I need a glass of wine and a pizza and brownies and I'm just gonna, like, veg out and do all the things. It's this, like, what would feel super nourishing, and like calling in and just really setting into your body around, like, what would nourish me to have for dinner, and would it be to do this or this, and tap into, like, the sensations of your body. And usually the negative and no responses are going to be things that you feel closed down, heavy, weighed down. It's a hole, it's a, like, hot, it's like ugh feeling. Whereas the yes in your body is going to be this open and light and warm and lifting, and the sense of, like, maybe a lightness or feathers, and it's more of this, like, lifting up. And all too often, most of us get stuck in the survival or headspace of, like, the angst around, like, I just need something to fix it. And it doesn't give you a clear read. So to start, use a practice where it can be something very small and mild around a more neutral of, like, what to have for dinner, or do I feel like a bath or a shower? And as you start to build up that sense of awareness in your body, you can start to use this for bigger decisions as well. So again, I am wrapping in a little bit of what I'm learning from Martha Beck right now. So a lot of this this tool and this practice is hers. And so I wanted to share just a little bit around my version of the body talk, and sharing it with you so that you can start to incorporate this into your day-to-day life. So big love to you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.